I am here in Sioux Falls at the big art festival. That's a food court. My friend Nancy, who will not be on camera, brought me here. So we're gonna check it all out. It's huge. Everybody in the whole state of South Dakota is here, I think, because the parking is really hard. Neither here nor there is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota and the surrounding area. This is where I grew up. I am going to, in this video, obviously, since you saw it already, show you the arts festival downtown. You're going to visit a meadery, my second meadery, and honestly, the better of the two. The one in Gillette was really good, but this one, the flavors were a little more delicate, and therefore I liked it better. But there is no tasting room here at this point in time, so I got to go to the, well, I'm going to call it a factory. Now you're also going to see how dirty Fee got from the travels, and how good she looked when she got clean. And I will say, like, the first taste of it, you know, it's different because it's not something we normally would taste. The first taste, you're kind of going, this is different, and whether you, but the second taste is like your mouth is kind of going like, I'm used to that, and it's better the second taste, better the third taste. Please, people, do not just stop at your first sip. Give it a good 3-4 sips. So it doesn't look horrible in the front seat, but I still have fur, even though the dogs do. On the door. Okay, now this is Espresso's side. He does not shed as much or as badly as Showy side. Oh, that's pretty good. So you really kind of look closely. This is the door. Here's the floor, carpet side. Look at that. She is a fur factory. Whatever. But the fur creeps to the front, as you can see. Oh, yeah, it just flies in the air. And then, even though I have washed this once or twice, it's pretty gross. And yeah, there's a toothbrush there. Look, First Congregational Church. My kind of church. The flag is gonna bring me in. Okay. Again, I'm here in Sioux Falls at the Sidewalk Arts Festival. This is Greg McDonald Studios from Council Bluffs, Iowa. These are super cool, and I assume you're Greg? Enrique, it's another one for you, Batman. This is First Lutheran Church, where my mom and dad got married. Oh my God, decades ago. Obviously, since I'm decades old. This building is Washington Pavilion. It used to be Washington High School, and my mom was an English teacher there. And it turned into this cool place, but I still have not been inside. But I will go this trip. My mom wanted to take me. She didn't make it. That is the church steeple of First Lutheran Church. Pretty cool. Exactly. Put it instead of like the big horns of a bighorn steer. That goes on the front of my truck.
Okay, I'm ready.
And your name is?
Mel.
What?
Mel.
Mel. Oh, Mel. Oh,
Mel.
double L. Cool. And you're painting the things Greg McDonald's carves. And I am coming back here because I got to buy me a Santa now. This is made of wood. That is very cool. All right. Folded books. This is seriously cool. Oops, sir. Excuse me. It's okay, I just didn't want you to step on me. Oh, look, it's Christmas. I got a lot of editing to do on that one. Look, it's an animal. Little baby feet. It's a heart. Oh, it's a South Dakota buffalo. That's for you, Nancy. Kitty and a heart. Wow, this is. I'm sitting here having my mule, waiting for my friend Nancy to come back. She doesn't drink, so she went to get ice cream. Look at my beautiful basil strawberry mule in a frosty copper cup. Oh, yes. This is a brand new distillery, the only one in town. At this point, they do not do flights. They don't have flights set up. But I will come back and I will find out more about their spirits and what they do. Don't come in thinking you're going to have wine or beer. Come in thinking I'm going to have something different that I've never had before. Mm-hmm. And then judge it from there. Yep. That's where you got to go with it. Yeah. I just broke into Panacea Meadery and I'm excited. Okay, so this is Barry, and he is the owner. Co-owner, and again, brewer. They do brew, right? Fermenter of the mead. Okay, so where do you get your honey?
It comes from a beekeeper by Bruce, South Dakota. And then the honey is usually crystallized. So we put the blankets on there to warm up the honey to get it back into a liquid state.
And how many pounds or gallons of honey?
That's 55 gallons.
Wow. When you decide to add flavorings to the mead, what step in the process do you add the flavorings?
At the end of the fermentation.
End of the fermentation. Okay, so just before you go to packing it up and bottling it. Mixing tank is the one way down there that says mixing tank. Yep. Okay, that's for a worker who can read but doesn't remember. Okay, so they go to the mixing tank.
The water, mix the water and the honey together.
Okay. And then these tanks on the right.
This is the fermentation tank.
And then the honey stays in for different lengths of time depending on what kind of.
It takes like 4 to 6 weeks by the time you get done.
Okay, 4 to 6 weeks.
So, and we'll come from the mixing tank, and then we pump it to the fermentation tank, and then add the yeast to it. And it goes.
And then do you add anything else? You add the yeast in the fermentation tank, but do you also add other flavors or things?
No, just the honey.
Just the honey.
Yep.
And then do you fill kegs and give them to, or not give them, but...
No, yeah, there's some kegs right there.
Oh,
those are the kind of kegs we use.
I honestly thought those were fire
It's
extinguishers.
A plastic, yeah, no, that's just a plastic.
It's a plastic keg, and they go to
you take
bars
and restaurants.
That's neat. Okay, and that's how they fill theirs. This is our Freya. We know she's a goddess.
Yep, that's a goddess.
Landfall. Sailing?
That's just your Viking, standard Viking guy, I guess.
A long ship, that's one of their ships. Desert Oasis? Well, that's interesting.
That's a date wine.
Okay. I did read about your wines.
Date-flavored.
That's interesting.
Honey wine. And then that one there's an elderflower, lavender flavored.
Pont du Gard?
And then, Pont du Gard there. And then Goober is a roasted peanut one.
That sounds interesting.
Apple mixer. Spins everything around.
That's so neat. Okay. And then the tubes on the ceiling.
That's the glycol system. So there's 29-degree water flowing through there, and that's what keeps the tanks cold.
Wow. Okay. This is quite a production. Okay. Panacea Honey Wine, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I love the art on the bottles.
Yeah. The logo is made by one of my son's friends, and then the label company does the picture work for us. So
goes with it. I like the whole thing. That's really neat. I'm going really close because it's very intricate when you really get up there. There's definitely a white wine flavor. The honey is mild. It's not. You wouldn't necessarily even know. It's very complex. I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just a one note. There's a little bit of tartness in it. There's a little bit of, of course, there's a sweetness. There's almost a little bit of fruitiness of something. You know, like a pear or a peach. A pear.
Two meads. So this is a caramelized mead.
Yeah, look at the color on this. This is beautiful.
So we leave that heating blanket on longer, and it darkens the honey.
So it melts, it just warms the honey, but it also makes it darker as it gets warmer.
If you leave it on there too long, yeah.
This has a little deeper flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
It makes it deeper.
Yeah.
Mouthfeel, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It is. It's a bigger in your mouth. The other one, it's not like a red wine.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, honestly, of some brown ale kind of beers.
Yep. That could be like that.
That one's good too. That is very tasty. Desert Oasis.
Yep.
This one I'm expecting Desert Oasis with date to be sweet. Sweeter than those. I might be wrong. This one has more of a nose, more of a smell. And I hate to use the word smell, but that's really what it is. Nose is snobby. And smell has a negative connotation. I don't mean that. It just means there's more aroma.
More aroma to it,
Yeah. It's not sweeter. I can taste a little date in the aftertaste, but it's not sweeter. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's got a little difference.
Yeah, it almost, I don't know, when I first got it in my mouth, it almost seemed like kind of effervescent on my tongue. And now I taste more date. Not sweetness, but more of a date. Wow, this would be a good cooking one, too.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I could imagine cooking something like this. And the lingonberry is long ship?
Yep.
See, this is lighter than the date long ship. Lingonberry. I like lingonberries, and they are. Yeah, even when you get them out of a jar and they've added lots of sugar, they're still tart. I don't know how much sugar it's like a rhubarb almost.
Yep.
There's like this one, when I first took my sip, I tasted fruit. This is very fruit forward. Not sweet at all.
Yeah.
Not tart like when you have a tart beer that makes you pucker up.
Yep.
And not like a wine with a lot of tannins. None of them have the tannins of a wine. I don't know where you get that from the skin of the wine.
The
so
skin
there's
of
no
the
skin.
wine, yeah. Yep.
But, so it doesn't have that kind of a bitterness. I think this would be a really good one on a hot summer day. Chilled. They're all good, and they're also very different. Area?
Yeah, we're gonna get into some wood-aged ones here.
Really? That should be very interesting. Will it be fresh wood?
It's a heavy toast.
American oak char number 3. Oh, I learned about this in a distillery, the different levels of char. Yeah, and I think 4 was the most charred. And so you throw it in the fermenter?
We'll put it in like those bigger kegs over there. We'll just do a small batch of it. And then, because the barrels cost like, if you buy a barrel, like $500.
Right.
So in this company's this way, we'll try it.
Right, I think it's a great idea to start it that way. This is the Burdewyk. I know I took like 2 semesters of French in college.
Yep, this is elderflower lavender.
Oh, this should be interesting. Sue, lavender for you. This one is the sweetest of all, I think, for my taste. But it's still good. It's not like overly sweet. You have to take 3 or 4 sips because the first sip is going to shock your mouth because you've never had something like this before. The second sip, you're going to go, well, hey, I kind of like that. And the third sip, you're going to go, I could drink this. So you got to give it a chance.
Yep.
Each one that I try is almost my new favorite.
So then we got a hibiscus rose one too. We don't have that one bottled yet.
Oh.
And this is the roasted peanut one.
Okay. This is goober, and it's with roasted peanuts. I just think this is fascinating because peanut butter and honey go together so well. I smell a little peanut. At first I was going to say, I don't smell anything, and then it was like, oh, I smell something. Okay, this is the sweetest one. This is a dessert wine, mead. I would totally call this a dessert. Flavors, Or you do something to make it into syrup for pancakes. They're all good. They're all good.
That's good.
And I'm not lying. Because on my videos, when I taste stuff, sometimes it's like, ooh, I hated that. But I still will try it. This one has a big mouthfeel. I mean, when you take your swallow, it fills your mouth with flavor and sweetness. Delicious sweetness. Oh, one question too. What made you decide to have a meadery?
Because there's all kinds of breweries.
So you didn't want to just fall in with the group.
Yep.
The fact. When did you first start?
Oh, it's been 6-8 years ago.
Okay, 6-8 years ago. And have you noticed enough positive growth to make this feel
It's
like
growing.
It's
so,
growing,
you know,
slow
it's
but
growing
steady.
Slow but yep.
Yeah.
None. Of course, last year was
Right. COVID screwed everything up. Yeah.
Yep. And we're working on getting on Dino shipper now too. So we're gonna start sending it online. So we got all the packing material and all the stuff to do it with. And we set up an account with UPS to ship it. And then so all we got to do is finalize this Dino shipper here. So there's some, we look online, they sell it.
Come on, man. Thank you for joining us, and there will be more from Sioux Falls. At least 3 or 4 more videos, because I took a lot of video, and I want you to see it. Please come back and watch, and subscribe.